for passing the floor to me. And hello from Prague. My name is Tereza Koutská. I'm the director of Business Leaders Forum, and we are happy to join the Webathon Sustainability for Ukraine. Business Leaders Forum has been supporting businesses in Czechia in their pursuit of more responsible and sustainable way of operation. And we have been doing this since 1992. We show examples of strong ESG leadership, and we inspire with the best practices of sustainable approach and sustainable projects. And I have to say that the S within ESG was very much emphasized this year when the war in Ukraine broke out. Czechia was and still is one of the countries that are sought by refugees, as Ukrainians are our largest majority in the Czech society. And so far, we have 370,000 people, refugees, registered in the Czech Republic. And the expectation is that the total number of people here is even higher. I believe that we have shown great empathy at the institutional, at the business, and also at the personal level. The government, the public sector, non-profit organizations, businesses, and also individuals have come together to manage the situation and provide as much help as possible. And this is today's goal of this webinar, to show what businesses can do and what is the personalized help they can provide to the Ukrainian colleagues and their families. To understand why there is such an empathy in the Czech Republic with the situation in Ukraine, we need to go back to the history a bit because we, Czech people, have their own experience with invasion. Back in 1968, the Soviet tanks have crossed our borders, and we experienced the occupation that lasted for over 20 years. So we really feel for people in Ukraine, and we feel for those that came to our country to seek safety and to maybe start a new life. Business Leaders Forum has joined CSR Europe's Business and the War in Ukraine webinar, where we already shown our best practices, I would say, of businesses in our country. And we have also organized our very own webinar that was focused on integration of Ukrainian colleagues and on the inclusion within the corporates. So this time, I'm happy to invite two of the representatives of Czech businesses to the floor, and they will be sharing their best practices and their way what they did to help the Ukrainian colleagues and their families. And because the more personalized the help is, the better. We are going to go into the detail, and I would encourage you to ask questions in the chat and to really create a discussion what business can do to help and what is the personalized help that is needed. So let me introduce our today's panelists and speakers. The first one is Ivan Zido, the External Communication Manager for CEE at LKQ. He will be presenting as the first one. And the next presenter is Michal Vaňáček, the Head of Communication at Tesco, Czech Republic. He will be presenting as the second. And I hope that we have great examples to share. I hope that the discussion will follow. And let me just pass the floor to our first panelist, Ivan. Ivan, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Tereza, and hello, everyone. As Tereza said, my name is Ivan, and I'm in charge of external communications in LKQ company, and I will be presenting our best practice regarding the help to our Ukrainian colleagues. So at this moment, I will share my screen. So Okay, so what I'm going to present, I will definitely focus on the specific support which we provided to our colleagues and their families from Ukraine when escaping their countries from the war zone. I will definitely focus also on challenges we faced and how in what way we try to engage our employees, which is one of the key factors to do the real and effective support. And at the end, I will summarize what has been achieved so far. Who is LKQ Europe? Just very briefly, we are the leading distributor of automotive aftermarket parts for cars, commercial vans, and industrial vehicles in Europe. We currently employs over 26,000 people with network over 1,000 locations. And if I move to another slide, you can see our European group. And as you can see, we are present in most of the regions in Europe. And as you can see in more focus, one of the region is the Central and Eastern Europe, where I'm a part of as well, because I'm based in Prague, Czech Republic. But in this group, we also have Ukrainian, which is our topic for today. And I would say at this point that at the beginning of the war crisis and the conflict in February, the first steps were took by our branch in the Czech Republic and neighboring countries, so Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania. These were the key for the first pass. However, the big support which we got was also from our headquarters in Europe and in the US, where we have our mother company. Why are we doing this? Why we decided to help Ukrainian people? Our goal was to help our colleagues from Ukrainian to reach safe countries and stay there. That was the main and natural impulse. We also wanted to provide them the decent living conditions and provide targeted, and this is very important, targeted, not anonymous help. So that's why we decided to help our people, because it's in our hand. We are not a non-governmental organization. We know our people, we know they need, and we are able to establish a real contact with them, which is very important. What is not our goal to make any promotion of our support, and actually this is the first time when we share our experience with the third parties. Our aim is not to also control or govern the path of the people on the run. Every human being, including refugee, is free, so we want to let them choose which way to go. So in fact, some refugees who escaped have already returned home, and it's okay, and that's how it should look like, and how it happens. So this is actually the scope of our support. And what was at the beginning? And it's a baseline. We have over 40 branches across Ukraine, including Kiev, Donbas, Mariupol, and Kherson. The first step and the first action which we had to make was to establish a core team, a hotline. And this team was established in the Czech Republic as a non-formal headquarter for our CEE region. And this team was consisted from HR of people from HR team, finance, real estate, and corporate communications. So I would say that these departments were the most crucial for providing the help and coordinating the whole support. And as I mentioned, we wanted to help our employees of our Ukrainian branches and their family members. What the support coordination looked like and still look like. The key and one of the crucial thing which we had to make was to engage Ukrainian speaking coordinators speak Ukrainian and who are able to establish a direct line with the Ukrainian HR team, and then directly to refugees. We have set up a hotline, daily briefings, changing information all the times. And I would say that the role of coordinator speaking Ukrainian was the key, because yeah, that was the only way how we can get the information. We provided, you can see all steps which we and the all tools which we take in order to help refugees to get to safer countries. So we provided them practical materials, how to get to borders, how do they recognize the car that will take them to the hotel when they cross the border. We, on the safe side, we also found and booked hotels and other accommodations for them, so they were able to go there directly when they cross the border, and of course holiday meal. Meanwhile, we of course setting up a bank account for direct donations and crowdfunding platform, which was shared among our employees. Employees was the key, and actually it's still the key. So we had to engage our employees and find a very effective internal communications. One of the things which we made in cooperation with all of our employees, not only within the Czech Republic or CEE region, but for the whole Europe, we started also to collect different things and items that the families escaping the Ukrainian needed. It's understandable that people were running only with the basic equipment. So when they crossed the border and got the safe country, they needed a number of things, not only food. Most of them were children and women and children, including expecting mother. So there are a number and hundreds and thousands of things that you really need for your daily life. So that's why I was talking about the targeted help. We were able to find out what each person need, and then we ask our employees to buy it or to provide it in a different way. We collect these things, and because we are a logistics company as well, we were also able to very effectively deliver the help, the things that these people really need. Our additional support contained also a meal, well, additional meal. So in cooperation with Czech Federation of Food Banks, we donated a couple of tons of ready-to-eat meal, so the families can quickly cook it. And yeah, and of course the war is still it's still there, and we never know when it ends. So there were a number of practical things which we had to deal with, like a job. So we also started to offer employment in our branches in the CEE countries. So that was also very important to find a way how the people can start earning money. Again, employment engagement was the key. So that's why we wanted to keep our colleagues' attention, and that's why we still regularly report on current aid, share testimonies and stories of our Ukrainian colleagues, and we also shared some pictures from refugee children, which is also very, very, very touchy. So all these things are very important to keep attention and to ask employee and other people to donate and stay supporting. So if I summarize it, what has been achieved so far. We have more than 200 refugees in neighboring countries, in Poland, Slovakia, and Romania so far. We provided, all accommodation, food, healthcare, very important thing. I didn't mention it, and clothing and other things. One child born in a safe country, so it was a big success. And as I mentioned, we are still keep the intention on it, and we are still raising money. Our crowdfunding platform is still ongoing, and at this moment we are trying to solve a number of issues, including jobs, including finding an appropriate school for their children, and other, let's say, integrating questions, which is always very, very challenging for every country and every conflict in the world that happens. So that's all from my side. And in case you have any additional questions, I'm always here to answer in the discussion or after that. And I'm looking forward to discussion. And thanks again for Teresa and her team for inviting me for this event. Thanks a lot for attention.
Thank you, Ivan, for your presentation of the ways that you have supported Ukrainians and their families. We were talking about the importance of personalized help. So I would firstly encourage everyone who is watching to really ask questions and use the chat below. And my question is towards the personalization of the help. What was or what is the process of selection, the actual people that you are going to help? What are the criteria that you have used, and what kind of system have you adapted concerning this?
Yeah, good question. To be honest, we did not make any rule at this moment, because when people is escaping the country because of the war conflict, everyone should be saved. So at the very beginning, and still we are helping to all, but as you all know, only women and children can escape the countries, and the fathers who has more than 3 children. So we also helped a man's, who escaped the country because they are fathers of a big family. So that was the only criteria, and of course we focused only on our employees and their family members. So the criteria was to help, our employees, sister, brothers, father, mother, and all the family, and all relatives. So actually, we never say no. I mean, no, this is not the person according to our criteria. This didn't happen, So I think we also helped some friends who also need to escape the country. Yeah, so we did. Yeah.
Thank you. So there actually is no criteria, but the contacts were selected from your employees, their families, their relatives, maybe their friends, as you said. Okay. My second question, Ivan, is concerning the challenges you have experienced in the process. What was the biggest challenge? Because as in large corporates, sometimes when we really want to do something, it's a bit harder. You have to have the permission, and you have to have the approval at different levels. So what was the biggest challenge for you?
Yeah, you're right. For the corporate company, is still very challenging to do everything, in every big project like this. But I would say that the main challenge was to be in line with our headquarter in terms of financing and distributing the help, because one thing is to collect or to get money, and the second is to distribute it in the right way. So you need to establish a right process. That's the criteria maybe you are talking about, the process, who is eligible to get the support and for what purpose. So this took some time, more than we expected, but we did it. But as a corporate, it took some time. And the second challenge, and it's because of the war, the lack of information. I mean, as you all know, and we were all reading the news, but to get the right information from the people and to establish a contact with them, sometimes it was very difficult. Although we've had a Ukrainian coordinator speaking Ukrainian, sometimes the line was broken and we were not able to find out, okay, they are on the way. Yesterday they were on the way, but today they should be on the at the border crossing, but they are not there. So what happened? You know, are they still alive, or what's going on? And so these things were really difficult and bad, I would say. But fortunately, all people which we wanted to help, all of them were all of them crossed the border and get to the safe country, fortunately.
So the story has a good end, actually, so far. Thank you. You have mentioned the challenges that you had on the way within the process of selection, approval of the finances, going into the help, and also sometimes the lack of information or the critical part that sometimes the connection is broken and you didn't know where the people actually are and if they are coming. So what would you, in general, what would you advise? What kind of advice would you give to companies that would like to step in now and provide any kind of help? What is the best practice? You've already mentioned the Ukrainian speaking coordinator, so things like that, what they should establish, what they should count with.
First step is to establish a real and efficient core team, internal, I mean, in the safe country, we can say. Decide who are the stakeholders, not the CEO, but the people who really know what to do. The big role of HR team, the big role. This is the key. And the second step, as you mentioned, the coordinator who speak Ukrainian, because the language is very important, and get in touch with the locals. The best is to find a local coordinator. So for us, it was a Ukrainian HR team who was in touch with all refugees escaping, you know, different ways. So this was the person. So if I would summarize, to have the key stakeholders, core teams in the safe country and in Ukrainian, and between them, the intermediary body speaking Ukrainian. The best practice for us, we used services from a lady who speaks Ukrainian very well, because she helps Ukrainian workers to work in the Czech Republic for a long time. And these people are a lot in our country and neighboring countries as well.
Thank you. So it was actually 3 steps or 3 things that you would recommend to any corporate or SME to really establish or look for when they're in the process of implementing some kind of helpful tools. Okay, let me ask you a last question, and this is concerning the future. So far, you mentioned that over 200 people, this is the number of people that you have helped so far. You've also mentioned that some of them have come back to Ukraine. So I assume that some of them stayed here in the Czech Republic. what are the follow-up steps for the people that are staying concerning their accommodation, concerning their maybe work permits or possibility of working for the company. So what is the future for the people that actually came in the Czech Republic? You help them and they are staying here.
Yeah, I just add that they are not staying only in the Czech Republic, but in the neighboring countries like Slovakia, Romania, and Poland. So for these people, we are still trying to find a job. Some of them are already working for us, for our branches, in different positions. So this is the action that is still ongoing, to find an appropriate job for those who don't have a job and looking for a job. The second is the schools. So as you know, in the Czech Republic, it's not easy to find an appropriate school for the Ukrainian children. Other countries face the same challenge. So this is another challenge, and we are trying to find an appropriate school for them. And yeah, and regarding accommodation, I think this is already solved, because most and all refugees who stayed in the hotel, they were already transferred and moved to the different apartments, either provided by some of our employees, which is also interesting that some employees also provided their accommodation, or any other accommodation which is not temporary, but they can stay there for a long time. So this is a challenge that is already solved. So I would say only job and the schools are at this moment on the table. However, I have to say, business and the company should not supply, to act as a NGO. So we, of course, try to get them to the right institutions, organizations who really know how to integrate into a major society in an effective way. This should not be managed as a whole only by the company. So we are still like a coordinator, not the final institution to help.
Thank you, Ivan, for showing us what is the future for people that came in the Czech Republic, and how LKQ takes care of them so far, especially in those two things that you have mentioned are still ongoing with the job seek and with the skills. Thank you again. I hope that you will stay here until the end of our session, and I hope that we have more questions in the chat. And now let me pass the floor to Michal Vaňáček, Head of Communication at Tesco Czech Republic, to share their best practices of personalized help to Ukrainian colleagues and their families. Michal, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Teresa. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to address you on behalf of Tesco Czech Republic, the retailer who serves Czech customers, communities, and planet. My name is once again Michal Vaňáček, and in a few minutes, I'll try to describe what are our streams of Ukrainian relief related to the war in Ukraine. The numbers you can hopefully see on your screens are figures for Tesco Central Europe, because a part of the Czech Republic we also operate in Slovakia, in Hungary. I'll try to focus as much as possible to the Czech environment, to the Czech market. So to say, the activities are pretty much similar across all the three countries, though there are some different partners involved and so on. I've got only 2 slides, so let's have a look what's there. Not too much in the detail, but rather have in a nutshell the high-level overview. Tesco has been involved in financial, material, and food assistance to citizens on Ukraine territory, as well as to those who have to fled from the country to the territory of the Czech Republic. and also to our colleagues that have been anyhow affected by the conflict as such throughout many different activities. What I would maybe like to emphasize, and we are proud of that, is the speed of our reaction, because the first donations of food and hygiene products, clothing, and so on, were basically released from our depots in Hungary, Czech Republic, and Slovakia really immediately within first 48 hours after the conflict started. So that means during the very first week. After this shock, and I would definitely say rather spontaneous reaction, we have immediately started, to organize internally ourselves, as pretty much similar story as Ivan has just described, on daily basis, including the involvement of the Tesco company leadership and different teams involved, like the people team, communications, product, supply chain, and all the important internal stakeholders to be able to coordinate our support as much as possible, as efficiently as possible. We also set up principles of help. That means selections of reliable partners and so on, also crucial, and has been always also mentioned by the previous speaker. What are those three streams? A few examples how the support Tesco at the Ukrainian territory looks like. We've been working alongside with the Red Cross, and this is the cooperation that has been established on the group level. So to offer help in the most practical ways we can. That means aligned across all the businesses, including UK and the Republic of Ireland, where Tesco also operates. Together with the customers, the Tesco Group as a whole have sent more than 4 million of British pounds to the Red Cross. It was then redistributed to Red Cross, like the different branches, the Ukrainian one and mainly the Ukrainian one. As well as we released from the distribution centers from each of the countries in the Central European region another goods. In the Czech case, it's worth more than 1 million of the Czech crowns, and it's the very first support that we were able to provide right away to the humanitarian organizations that were selected on the local level. That in the Czech case means člověk v tísni, people in need. There was let's say the guarantee that the help we are sending to the Ukrainian territory will be distributed in the most efficient way. To support this organization even more, we've organized employee collection, where employees contributed more than was 320,000 Czech crowns, and Tesco doubled the amount, the funds collected, and was also sent to the people in need. And what we have also done, because there were many our suppliers asking us from the very beginning how they can be involved, how they can help. So we used we leveraged our distribution network in the Central Europe to get suppliers, to involve them in the material collection and support as well. The second stream is concerning the supporting of the Ukrainian refugees. We've organized extraordinary food collections throughout all the stores we got in the Czech Republic. Within 2 days, which is something quite unique. Just to describe you, we are organizing food collections in our stores on a regular basis. The usual preparation takes about 1 month, even more, when you get really set with all the materials and information communication and the stuff. This time we made it, our CEO asked us on Monday basically to undertake such a food collection, and we started it on Wednesday morning, which was something unique, and again shows how the whole business was able to internally coordinate and to deliver what was needed to be done in a very swift way and surprisingly efficiently, I would say, to such a big corporate company. Obviously, we also took care about our employees that were affected by the conflict. So that means colleagues that were called on the basis of the order, the men to get back to Ukraine. We've granted them full wage compensation to ensure that their families are will remain, in the Czech Republic with sufficient funds. Employees from Ukraine, and it tackles both the newcomers as well as those we already have, got extraordinary vouchers in the equivalent of 9,000 of Czech crowns. So also say the financial and material support. And for the whole population of TESCO employees, because we have almost 10,000 employees across the Czech Republic, we've launched TESCO Real Help, so to call a hotline when everyone who was facing psychological, legal, financial, whatever needs, get assistance. And we've got pretty much cases of employees who basically call this line, including the Czech, citizens who were afraid what's going on and what will be the consequences of the war and so on. So they were also provided with a psychological, legal, and this type of assistance. There were some other, let's say, minor but still important issues, like those colleagues who had a bank account with a Sberbank. They could request a salary advance because we knew there was some troubles, to getting to your funds from your bank account and such a stuff. So really broad spectrum of activities. Now I'll show you the second screen, and this basically shows, and it's been obvious from the very beginning, that the support will be needed in long-term basis. It's been already said, with among the other many businesses in the Czech Republic committed to do what can we help, let's say, on longer-term basis, not the immediate response, the immediate reaction. TESCO is one of the largest private employers in the Czech Republic. And we were also among the first companies who basically offered vacant jobs for Ukrainian refugees. We have revised long-term vacancies and other job opportunities, and within our stores and as well as distribution center here close to Prague. And we publicly offered up to 500 job opportunities across the whole country during the first year. Once the relevant legislation entered into force, and we can display it later on, because there were some legal changes that needed to be addressed before that. There were some practicalities needed in order to make this pledge happen and to really recruit Ukrainian refugees. First of them, in order to have the integration as smooth as possible, and that's again when I need to echo my speaker Ivan. It's establishment of the position of job recruiter who was able to speak Ukrainian, because this person was really needed, to provide the newcomers with both factual support, the communication, describe what's the job about, conduct the telephone and personal interviews, pass all the information that are related to work with the TESCO. So the first thing. The second one, what we did, we also brought all the materials like inclusive for the newcomers. That means translating, mandatory trainings, job descriptions, and other stuff. Induction also to be available also in the Ukrainian, another important aspect. And what I would also like to add, that Ukrainian-speaking colleagues, not only the newcomers but also our current employees were provided with some additional support, so to say that we chosen within the hierarchy of the people partners, the structure, those who are Ukrainian speaking, and it was like the ambassadors who established WhatsApp group that the population could easily share the information and the stuff that is needed for on daily basis how to not only work but live in the Czech Republic. Thanks to that, so far we have managed to employ over 130 refugees in the employment agreement and 33 employers throughout the Czech Republic. So that's it from my side from the moment, and happy to answer any questions it will be in my capacity. Thank you.
Michal, thank you very much for the presentation and for the new things that you have added to kind of best practices that corporates could use helping Ukrainians, their colleagues from Ukraine and their families. I know that you were one of the companies that really was fast and efficient to provide the help. We discussed together what is your plan, and I can see, according to those numbers that you have shared, that you really fulfilled the plan that was there. Could you give us some advice concerning how to manage in such a fast way, how to be really fast and efficient, as we all agreed the speed is really important if we want to provide the personalized help. So what is the secret?
Teresa, honestly, I'm far away from making any advices or recommendations, because we all know who are operating here in the Czech environment, there were many different businesses that really responded in a unique way, very swiftly, and we've aligned within not only within the retailers but with our suppliers, and you can easily see that there was something really natural for the Czech business, to step into the process of the relief and start from the scratch. What definitely helped us in the whole process was COVID, actually, because there was the case that learned Tesco, to step swiftly into the crisis management, because we used the pretty much same groups like I tried to describe, the leadership meeting every single day in the morning, and the internal stakeholders on the regular basis, every single day meeting, discussing and sharing the information, which is something that we've done already within the COVID, because we were heavily influenced, by the different regulations entering into force, you know pretty well. So that was basically something that helped us really to react swiftly, and that's been already said by Ivan. But it's to be able to set internally, So we needed to agree that all support should be done via existing credible relief organizations, and we've got many experiences there, because we are working on regular basis with the food banks. That was the partner who distributed our food surpluses here on the Czech territory. We used to cooperate with people in need, Člověk v tísni, before. So we built on the existing relationships, so we were able to set internally efficiently and then spread via existing contacts the help in all the directions where it was needed. So that's basically. It's not so easy how I'm trying to describe that. Definitely not. But I think that we've got some really good learnings from the COVID that we simply implemented also in this case.
Thank you very much. Despite what you said at the beginning, there were some recommendations or some things that helped to speed up the process. So I'm glad that you have shared them. Concerning the future, again, as was the question for Ivan, the same question for you. What is your plan? What is the plan of support given to your colleagues, to their families in the future? What is the long-term plan?
The plan has been set and it's still there. You know, when it comes to the support of our employees, we've got among the others the Tesco Angel, which is the program funded by employees, and the financial contributions are then topped up by the Tesco as such. When everyone, and it's not only related to our Ukrainian colleagues, but anyone in the business who gets into the difficult life situation, like unexpected furlough or whatever, can easily ask for the some contribution within this Tesco Angel, and it works really well. Then we've got a really developed system of people partners throughout the whole country. So it's not only about the people team sitting here in headquarters in Prague, but we've got regional and local people partners who are the persons on daily basis in touch with the employees in all of the stores across the country. So we've got a really effective mechanism of getting the information from basically everywhere from the country to the place when the decisions are at the end of the day made. So this works as well. Plus, I described the recruitment pledge, which is still here. We still have some new persons interested, the refugees interested to become the Tesco employees. So everything works. Plus, been already said as well, our support continues when it comes to the food and material support throughout our regular cooperation with the food banks, because we are donating our food surpluses from each of the store in the Czech Republic on the daily basis, basically. So and we know that there is a huge demand from food banks, these difficult times, from those who are in the need. So this works as well, I would say.
Thank you. So I can see that the future for your colleagues from anywhere in any kind of nationality is well prepared. I know that Tesco even released the report for diversity. So I know that it's not just Ukrainians in your company, it's all other minorities that you employ.
That's correct. If I may to add, I mean, it's integral part of the business DNA. I'm proud of that, and really, and all the tribute belongs to the people team, to the HR, who really on the daily basis creates by natural environment that everyone is welcome at Tesco, which is very important. And you rightly said it's not about foreigners, Ukrainian refugees, whatever, but it's basically anyone. And no matter who you are, you can feel that you are really welcome in the company, which I think really makes a difference.
Thank you. Ivan, Michal, maybe a question for both of you, because you both mentioned the importance of acting or having someone from the NGO business, or having a strong partners that can help you with speeding up the process of help, or with specific parts of the process. So what would you recommend for a partnership with NGOs in case of personalized help for Ukrainians and their families? Maybe Michal first.
I thought that Ivan will be first because I've been speaking for quite a long time, but doesn't matter. We indeed use in the case of the let's say support at the Czech territory, and I said that already, the food banks, our natural partner, and this is a two-way cooperation, because we know that they are feeding them with everything. Not to say everything, but many of food, and other stuff that they need. There are really huge volumes of food donations on daily or weekly basis, and at the same time, then we feel comfortable once someone comes, to us and ask that I would like to kindly ask you for some material, food help, whatever. Then we can feel comfortable to say our partner for the food donation and this kind of donation is a respective food bank. So please go there and ask there, and it works really well. That because it's it's impossible that we will be the ones who would, at the end of the day, be able to distribute the food surpluses and the help to the individuals, right? There has to be the mechanism. So we are the ones who are collecting that, sending them to the food banks in a large volumes, and then individuals are free to come to the food bank and ask for the help that they do need. So I would say it's the partnership and the well-established mechanism beneficial to actually all the actors involved in it.
Thank you, Michal. Ivan, can you add your experience, please?
I definitely agree with Michal. However, I have to say that we are in a little bit different position than Tesco, and it's actually interesting that I mean we went a similar way. Both we are corporates. However, Tesco is far in terms of sustainability than LKQ, because we were more focused. You know, last year we were very focused on a business, on the sales, you know, and sustainability and responsibility was not actually on the table so far. So I would say that also this crisis helped us to totally change our minds. However, in terms of picking up the right partners, we did not have established any partnership or so many partnerships as Tesco, so we had to rely on our employees in the neighboring countries who were able to identify reliable organizations who were in line with our effort. So food banks was one of the partnership. However, we usually try to pick up and choose really, as I said, really reliable organization who has a big name, and we can rely that they will do their job efficiently.
Thank you for sharing your experience, and also for the remark of how things are similar and how things are different, because each of your companies has decided to help, and each of the companies found its own way, and both have influenced and both have helped in the situation. So I believe there are much more examples of how Czech businesses really helped to manage the situation, and the strong partnerships across the segments, the private sector, the public sector, the non-profit sector, are really the way of operation that succeeded to manage the large numbers of people coming in our country. So thank you for sharing your presentations. I will mention some of our members who are now have also helped and who have also donated financial help, who have also come forward to use their premises, to use their skills, to use their products and sales to help in the situation. I know that we already shared this kind of examples at the occasion of seminar Business and the War in Ukraine, but definitely you can see those examples in many companies here in the Czech Republic helping, and the plan of help is long-term, as you could see. Michal and Ivan both agreed that the help is permanent for the time that people will need it. Just to sum up, I would give the recommendation again that Ivan and Michal suggested. So it's actually 7 points that any company, no matter whether it's SME or corporate, should really look for when they want to help their Ukrainians and their families. So firstly, establish dedicated team. Secondly, get the support of your stakeholders. They don't need to be within the team, but you need their support. Third point, engage Ukrainian speaking colleagues or coordinators to manage the situation and to coordinate. And number 4, get in touch with locals and use the local Ukrainian language speaking colleagues to share and to select and collect information. Number 5, use strong partnerships with nonprofit sector. Use them to really get the knowledge that is not within your corporate. Number 6, coordination of the process is very important. So what Michal described, the point of contact at the local level, pointing to the headquarters and transfer of the information, very important thing. And last but not least, use the experience that you have already in a company. As Michal mentioned, they use their experience from COVID to really a crisis management of the situation. So this is all from us. Thank you, Ivan from LKQ, and thank you, Michal from Tesco, that you joined the session and shared your examples. And I would encourage you to really help and personalize the help for your Ukrainian colleagues and for their families. And I would also encourage you to donate if you can. Goodbye from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the invitation.
Bye-bye.
Bye.